And we're going to head right into the next session, which is with Martin Eyerer. Martin is the perfect person to explain how to create a community with artistic, technological, and business-minded interdisciplinary exchange at its core. Martin, you kind of have a double function as well. You are the CIO at Factory Berlin. You are the CEO of Riverside Studios. And Riverside Studios is where top musicians and experts from all walks of life work together. I'm super excited to have you here today for a talk on building and running a creative and tech community. We're going to have a short video to introduce your talk and then get you right on.
All right.
One warm round of applause for Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, so good morning, everyone. I'm Martin Eyerer, CIO at Factory Berlin and founder of Riverside Studios, located as well in Berlin. Is anyone by chance member of Factory here? Just to know that? Ah, that's nice. And do you know Riverside Studios? Did you hear of those? Okay, at least a few. Afterwards, we're going to see. Yeah, so the next 20 minutes, I will talk about how to integrate creatives and also why we should integrate creatives into a tech community. We have three big problems the industry at the moment is facing. Number one is how to attract talent, and in 2018 in a survey leading CEOs stated as number one challenge how to find new talent and how to attract them to their company even before other targets like growth or more turnovers. Second problem is how can we keep the performers within our companies, and the same CEOs stated wrongly they believed that money would be the driving factor why people would stay in their companies. In fact, it was way other factors like the working environment, like the team you work with. Is my job sustainable? Does the company sustainable things? Is that meaningful work I'm doing? And the third problem is we're going into an age of outside-in innovation. What does that mean? The age of research and development goes a bit to its end because machines more and more take over of engineering and technical processes, and the dynamic of market is so fast, so we don't simply have the time to develop and foster innovation. So innovation is something needs to come from outside, and the industry hasn't found the answers yet. So is co-working really the answer to that? Maybe 10 years ago, people thought, yes, that would be the answer if we have a different environment and we change our neon light offices to a cool place where you have a nice surrounding, that would change something. But we all know that this actually is not really the answer. Co-working solved other problems. If you are looking for a desk right now, this is what co-working provides. So it's maybe not that, but it's simply not the answer to the three problems. We believe community is the answer to those problems. A lot of people lately talk about community. You hear it all over. Even co-working spaces talk about community. And community, what does it actually mean? It means if we share knowledge, experience, and we rethink collaboration, if we collaborate in a positive and healthy way, we build trust, and if we build trust, we start to identify, and identification leads to a community feeling and multiplies all the effects you want to have out. And it can be the answer to the three problems. It can be also the answer to a lot of more effects. So what do we do at Factory Berlin? We have in total 3,500 people within our community. This is 4 groups of members we have. We have 2,000 individuals. They're solopreneurs and freelancers in the fields of artificial intelligence, developers, blockchain, UX, UI design, virtual reality, mobility, and so further. Then we have a big member group of startups. We have 80 plus startups in our membership community with more than 8 people working there. We have a lot more startups on a smaller scale. Then we have corporate partners like Siemens, Deutsche Bank, Google, Daimler, and so further. And we have our so-called enabling partners. They provide services within our community. That can be company builders like Next Big Thing or Entrepreneurs First or Google for Startups. We have also our own university, the Code University, where young people learn how to build software. It's not about how to develop code. It's about how to build software and also market it. And we have the Riverside Studios, as you heard, my company, where we just came up with a joint venture. And why is that? I'll explain you just in a few minutes. So a few facts. The community holds, as I said, 3,500 people. They're of 70 nations, because diversity is something that is a very important factor for our community. We have 36% female entrepreneurs. The number is rising, and we work on that, and we're very happy that we are the leading community with such a high percentage of female entrepreneurs, 40 strategic partners, and we promote 350 events for the community, and we curate. This is also important because we come from a co-working history. In 2016, we realized we want to become a community and curate, so people apply. We have around 400 applications per month, and we accept between 25 and 40%. Riverside Studios is a community too. We run 27 music studios, and our community are of 45 artists, songwriters, composers, and performers. They received more than 200 Platinum Awards and 26 billion clicks on YouTube. We're saying that to show you we're really successful in what we do. We're worldwide known as a collective of artists and a community as well, and we curate too. So what do we really do? We provide first a physical space, because we believe building trust always has to be also in real life. We want to look into each other's eyes to build trust. That's important. So fake networks not really are building trust. If we talk about socials, then curation is the key, and we're building a network. Because building a network provides you with everything you need to grow your business and everything you really are looking for, if it's a valuable network. And what is the difference of just a network and a community is sharing values. This is within our curation criteria. We are looking for open-minded people, we are looking for diversity and for risk takers, and we have a sharing mentality and a give-first mentality. So if we are successful in what we do, and actually we are successful, because 58% of all startups 2018 in Berlin in co-working spaces were founded at factory, then problem solving goes up within a community, and waste of time by maybe talking to the wrong people who are not really serious, and goes down. And the benefit for community members generally is we get inspired because we exchange, we build synergies, we collaborate, and after all, we build the networks, and as I said, we start to identify and become really a community. So important is the community mix. The balance of each member group is important. We have 4 generations, more or less, from baby boomers to Generation Z. We have even a school for the very young people in our community. We believe in learning from each other. It's the old economy and the new economy. The old people learn even also from young people, and vice versa. So far, Factory has been tech and biz orientated. And since I joined Factory 1 year ago, we started to onboard also a whole community of creatives. How do we curate? What is really the way how we activate such a community? We have 5 factors. First, the communication happens on Slack, which is a messaging tool mixed between maybe WhatsApp and just an ordinary messenger. And we organize it in so-called circles. That's similar to forums. They're topic related, and they are curated by our members, and we support the members in running these circles. Topics are like AI, blockchain, but there's a women in leadership circle, for instance. There is a sports circle, an artist circle, and so on. And we provide spaces and events to meet people in person. Then we have the 350 events we promote just for the community, where you can know about, learn about businesses others are doing, where you can meet new people, where you can exchange. And we have, of course, the community team. We have around 18 to 20 people. They are just doing everything you need if you're a member, bringing people together and always thinking further how curation can become better for the community. Then, since we onboarded creatives, we have a whole programming in art and music, which also brings people together, and I'm gonna show you a little bit more about that. Technology inspires art, and art challenges technology is something John Lasseter said. That's the former CEO of Walt Disney and Pixar, and it's actually nothing new. If we think back in the times of Leonardo da Vinci, that was already something for hundreds of years, which is there, and we developed a new strategy called the Creative Code, which is about bringing artists, technologists, and forethinkers together, because the intersection between tech and art enables and fosters innovation. And even further thought, we believe this is the world where everyone wants to work tomorrow, because we want to be surrounded by an environment that inspires us and that makes us happy, and not just leaving our home, going to work and come home in the evening and then looking for something we like to do in our spare time. So I'll show you a little video about what we do there. Yeah, and since we believe the Creative Code should not be just a theory, we practically opened a new community space we call the Creators Lab, which is on 450 square meters. It's a mix of an artist studio, of a DJ studio. We have space to do sports. There's a kitchen to cook, because cooking is creative and brings people together too. And we have desks within that space where people work on tech projects, and we literally want to bring them together. And at the end, it's a lab. We want to try out things because we don't have all the answers yet, but we believe that we do something right, and we want to find out with the community together what we do there. In the studio, we onboarded the Riverside community. We wanted to have professionals working there every day and not just having a marketing studio where from time to time an artist looks by and has like just a small talk. We believe these people have to be part of our community to foster the real exchange. We closed a lot of partnerships, for instance, with Sonar Festival in Spain. They have Sonar Plus D, where they think about tech and art, or Ars Electronica, which is a very old festival and very successful in that field. We came up with the programming and curated. That's what I said before. It's one of the 5 bubbles, how we activate the community. We promote performances, panel talks, networking events, master classes, art exhibitions, and also even sports and yoga and well-being events. And we installed an artist in residence program where we give artists the chance to work 12 weeks at the factory, and we had a call out, an international one, and we received 200 applications of really interesting artists. The topic this time was art and AI, so a lot of interesting people joined factory for the artist in residence program. It's 27 artists we gave the opportunity to work with us the next 12 weeks, and they were curated by a jury board, which we gave people from the relevant scene of Berlin to help us to choose the right people. Also, we took 7 mentors to help us with the programming and find out more things with them. So May 1st, we promoted the festival. One reason was we wanted also to change the perception of factory in Berlin, because we are in Berlin, and even myself, if you would have asked me 1 year before what is factory, it's this kind of exclusive business club. And when I joined factory, I realized there's so many creative people there, and since we already also add creatives, we need to promote this festival, which we want to extend in the future, because also we believe meeting on a festival is a perfect space where we can exchange and think further ideas. There's also a small video about it. We had networking areas in our yards and the big dancing space outside. Yeah, so it was around 15,000 people we brought in front of the door. We developed also concrete use cases, because our industry partners sometimes ask us, what do you really do there, guys? Is there something in it for me? And yeah, as I said before, we don't have everything yet. We're developing things. There's an innovation challenge we successfully set up. It's a 2-day sprint where we bring industry people with creatives, with artists together to think about their problems, to solve their problems, and to have a change of perspective that works really well. We also have new startups coming out of that creative field. Exhibit, for instance, is a startup coming up with an augmented reality application where you can look into your living room, how art would look into your surrounding before you buy it. It's pretty successful and scaling. We also have our own artists coming out now of the program in Portrait XO. She's very successful in mixing music and artificial intelligence, received a lot of awards. So a lot of things are happening now under the Creative Code and in addition to Factory. So if you're inspired, come by to Factory, maybe see you May 1st there. And yeah, we would be happy if you would visit us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this, Martin. I think we have a few questions up on Slido. Yes. So let's start with the first one. And do feel free to post another question as we start taking these first few. What and where is the next innovation coming?
I believe personally the next innovation comes generally in a change how we work, how we live. Mm-hmm. This is why we talk about community. I think we completely have to rethink these things. It's not just the new generation of people who were born after digital transformation, because they are completely different, and we know that from Factory. They actually will change our society. I just believe we all are in a process where we want to have a different environment from all perspectives where we work. So that's what I believe.
Okay.
It's a culture change that is coming.
Fair enough. And how do you cross-pollinate with other creatives in town?
I mean, the first angle was Riverside Studios. Mm-hmm. At Riverside Studios, we are connected very well to the city, and that's very important, because if you come as a tech community, you don't have trust in other fields, I would say, and when it comes to creatives. And with the help of Riverside, we already discussed with leading artists. For instance, yesterday I had Dixon here. We're planning to evolve him with his label into also a small conference format we're coming up. So that was actually mainly the thing. Okay,
cool. And do you work with the city, or do you wish for more support from any political level?
Yeah, that's a funny question. Dixon asked me that yesterday too. And I said, yeah, a lot of politicians come by and then they make a lot of photos and you never hear back from them. I would really lie if I would say there is support. No, I really don't see that. We have a school that's called New School that works completely different, where kids pitch for projects and they learn with experts how you, for instance, build a bicycle or whatever. And it took 3 years to get this school officially acknowledged. It was a very hard way. We managed. Now the Senate for Education comes frequently by and they love us. I would say on that angle, yes, but no, we're not really super well working.
So you could need some more support on that. And maybe, because we just had a talk yesterday about Berlin as a music tech capital, and that was interesting to look at how the support was there. Okay, and then there's another question. Factory also got backlash from Berliners. How do you deal with this?
Yeah, I mean, first we want to show what we really do there, because sometimes there's something behind a closed door, and that's what I said before. That's why we promote even more events to invite people, come there, and we come up with also a lot of offering which you can use and try to perception. And I'm always saying there's a lot of young people, they work hard to realize, I don't know, a startup or something, and they study something there, so I can't see really like a lot of any bad things there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm looking. Okay, that was it for you. Thank you so much, Martin.
Thank you.
Let's give it up one more.
Thanks.